The air in the conference room was thick with expectation as Maya Johnson stood before the panel of executives at a prestigious fashion brand. Clad in a sleek black dress that she had designed herself, her heart raced with a mixture of excitement and anxiety. The walls, adorned with glossy photographs of past fashion triumphs, felt like they were closing in on her as she cleared her throat and began her presentation. "Thank you for this opportunity," she said, her voice steady despite the flutter in her stomach. "Today, I want to share my collection that not only celebrates unique beauty, but also challenges the conventional standards that dominate our industry." She gestured to the models showcasing her designs, each piece bursting with color and individuality, reflecting the rich tapestry of diversity that Maya believed should be embraced in fashion. Olivia Reed, the lead executive with a reputation for being both formidable and cold, leaned back in her chair, arms crossed. Her sharp gaze dissected each of Maya's designs like a surgeon assessing a patient. "This isn't what we're looking for," she declared, her tone dripping with disdain. "Your work is unconventional. It doesn't fit our brand's image." Maya's heart sank. The rejection felt like a punch to the gut, but she forced herself to maintain composure. "I believe fashion should reflect who we are as individuals. We live in a diverse world, and my collection is a celebration of that diversity," she replied, her passion sparking in her eyes. "Diversity is great, but it needs to sell," Olivia countered, her voice unwavering. "We cater to a demographic that prefers the familiar. We cannot risk our brand's reputation on this." She waved her hand dismissively, as though brushing away Maya's dreams along with the designs. Maya felt the heat rise to her cheeks, a mix of embarrassment and frustration. "I understand your concerns, but isn't it time we start challenging those very standards? Isn't it time we embrace authenticity?" The other executives exchanged uncomfortable glances, but Olivia remained unmoved. "This meeting is over," she said flatly, turning her attention to the next presentation. Maya walked out of the boardroom, her heart heavy with disappointment. The hallway was a blur as she made her way outside, the cacophony of the bustling city barely registering in her mind. She sank onto a bench in a nearby park, tears brimming in her eyes. She had poured her soul into her collection, only to have it dismissed as not enough. Minutes later, her best friend Tasha found her, her warm presence a balm to Maya's wounded spirit. "Hey, what happened?" Tasha asked, concern etched on her face. "They hated it," Maya replied, her voice cracking. "They said my work was out of the norm." Tasha sat beside her, taking Maya's hand in hers. "Maya, this is only one brand. Just because they can't see your vision doesn't mean it's not valid or beautiful. You can't let their narrow-mindedness dim your light." Maya took a deep breath, the warmth of Tasha's encouragement slowly melting her despair. "But I wanted this so badly," she confessed. "I thought if I could just get my foot in the door, everything would change." "Maybe it's time to build your own door," Tasha suggested, her eyes sparkling with determination. "You have a gift, and the world needs to see it. Don't let them define your worth or your creativity. Stay true to who you are." As they sipped coffee and talked, an ember of hope ignited within Maya. She envisioned a fashion line that celebrated individuality, diversity, and authenticity, a line that would invite everyone to express their unique beauty. That evening, back in her modest apartment, Maya found solace in her sketchbook. Surrounded by fabric swatches and sketches that lay scattered across her sewing table, she began to pour her heart into new designs. Each stroke of her pencil felt like a declaration of independence, a rebellion against the rigid standards that had tried to confine her. "I will do this," she whispered to herself, her determination solidifying. "I will create my own fashion line." As the night deepened, the sketches began to take form, outfits that celebrated curves, colors, and cultures. Maya felt a surge of exhilaration wash over her. This was her chance to prove that beauty comes in all forms, and she was ready to embrace it wholeheartedly. Maya Johnson sat cross-legged on the floor of her small apartment, surrounded by swathes of colorful fabric and a cacophony of sewing supplies. The dim light of a desk lamp cast a warm glow over her chaotic workspace, illuminating the sketches that adorned the walls, each one a testament to her dreams and aspirations. As the clock ticked past midnight, she pushed herself to the limit, her sewing machine humming rhythmically as she stitched together the pieces of her first collection. With every cut of the fabric, every careful seam, Maya felt a surge of determination. She had faced rejection from the fashion brand that she had once idolized, but now she was crafting something wholly her own. The designs she was creating were not just garments. They were statements of empowerment and authenticity. She paused for a moment, wiping the sweat from her brow, and opened her laptop to share her progress on social media. "Hey everyone, just finished another piece from my collection. It's all about embracing who we are, flaws, colors, and all," she typed, her heart racing with excitement. As she hit post, she couldn't help but feel a flutter of hope. Slowly but surely, her small but supportive following began to grow. Comments flooded in, each one a reminder that she was not alone in her journey. "Love this, and you're inspiring, Maya," were among the many encouraging words that filled her screen, fueling her passion even further. The next day, as she continued to work tirelessly, a notification pinged on her phone. A message from a local boutique owner named Clara caught her attention. "Hi Maya, I've been following your work and absolutely love what you're doing. I'd like to showcase your collection at my boutique. Would you be interested?" Maya's heart raced. This was the opportunity she had been waiting for. "Absolutely. I'd be honored," she replied, her fingers trembling with excitement. Clara responded quickly, outlining the details for a small fashion show scheduled for the following month. Maya felt a rush of adrenaline. This was her chance to debut her designs, to show the world what she could create. She immediately began to sketch out her vision for the show, her mind racing with ideas. As the days turned into weeks, Maya poured her soul into preparing for the fashion show. Each piece was meticulously crafted, a representation of her journey and her commitment to diversity. But as the date approached, nerves began to plague her. What if no one showed up? What if they didn't like her designs? On the eve of the show, Maya stood in front of her mirror, taking a deep breath. "You've got this, Maya. This is your moment," she whispered to herself, rallying her resolve. She thought of the countless late nights spent sewing, the tears shed over failed designs, and the unwavering support from her friend Tasha, who had been her rock through this tumultuous journey. "Hey Maya, you ready for tomorrow?" Tasha asked, bursting into the apartment with her usual exuberance. "Honestly, I'm terrified," Maya admitted, fiddling with a loose thread on her dress. "Good. That means you care. Just remember, this show is about you and your vision. You're going to blow everyone away," Tasha said, her voice filled with enthusiasm. As dawn broke, Maya felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. She arrived at the boutique early, her heart pounding in her chest. The space was filled with vibrant colors and the delightful scent of fresh flowers arranged around the runway. As the models arrived, Maya briefed each one, her passion infectious. "Remember, each of you embodies what this collection is about: confidence and uniqueness. Own it," she encouraged, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. Finally, the moment arrived. The lights dimmed, and the music began to play. Models strutted down the runway in Maya's designs, each piece telling a story of resilience and individuality. The audience erupted in applause, and Maya felt a wave of emotion wash over her. This was it. Her dreams were coming to life. In the back of the room, a renowned fashion blogger named Elise snapped photos, her eyes alight with interest. "This is incredible. I need to get the word out about this collection," she murmured to herself, already envisioning the blog post that would follow. Maya watched in awe as her collection garnered the attention it so richly deserved, and she knew that she had only just begun to make her mark in the fashion world. For the first time in a long time, she felt a sense of belonging and purpose, ready to embrace whatever challenges lay ahead. Maya Johnson could hardly believe her eyes as she scrolled through her social media feed. Her collection had gone viral. The bright colors, bold patterns, and unapologetic designs that had once been dismissed as out of the norm were now celebrated by thousands. Influencers were wearing her clothes, fashion bloggers were raving about her creativity, and boutiques were clamoring to showcase her work. A wave of validation washed over her, filling the void left by the rejection she had faced only months before. "Can you believe this, Tasha?" Maya exclaimed, her voice a mixture of disbelief and excitement as she sat across from her best friend in their favorite cafe. The smell of roasted coffee beans and freshly baked pastries filled the air, but all Maya could focus on was the news that had just broken. "I have 3 different boutiques wanting to carry my collection. This is unreal." Tasha grinned, her dark curls bouncing as she leaned forward, her eyes sparkling with joy. "You deserve every bit of this, Maya. You put your heart into those designs, and now the world is finally seeing your vision. It's about time." Maya's heart swelled with pride. "I just never thought it would happen like this. I mean, I was ready to give up after that meeting with Olivia and the others. They made me feel like I wasn't even worth their time." Tasha shook her head, a serious look crossing her face. "You showed them. You took that rejection and turned it into something powerful. That's your magic, Maya. You're a force of nature." As they chatted, Maya's phone vibrated on the table. It was a direct message from a popular fashion influencer who wanted to collaborate on a photo shoot. Maya's jaw dropped. "This is insane. I never imagined I'd be getting messages like this." Her excitement was palpable, but deep down, a flicker of anxiety crept in. Amidst the joy, she couldn't shake the feeling that this success wouldn't go unchallenged. Olivia Reed had been ruthless during their last encounter, and Maya couldn't help but wonder how the seasoned executive was reacting to her rise. Meanwhile, Olivia sat in her sleek office, the walls adorned with accolades and framed photographs of her past runway shows. She watched as the notifications on her phone flooded in, each one detailing another milestone in Maya's burgeoning career. A scowl creased her forehead as she scrolled through comments praising Maya's collection. "This can't be happening," she muttered under her breath, her fingers tapping furiously on the screen. "Olivia, is everything okay?" her assistant Claire asked hesitantly from the doorway. She had seen the shift in Olivia's demeanor and understood that the fashion mogul was not one to take competition lightly. "No, Claire, everything is not okay," Olivia snapped, her voice a mix of frustration and fear. "That designer is gaining traction, and it's threatening everything I've built here. We need to do something about it." Claire raised an eyebrow, slightly taken aback by Olivia's intensity. "What do you mean? We can always focus on our own campaigns and push our current lines. There's enough room for everyone." Olivia turned to Claire, her expression fierce. "This isn't just about business. It's about control. She's a threat to our image, our brand. If people start to see her as a leader in this industry, we'll be left in the dust. I won't let that happen." As the days passed, Maya received an invitation to showcase her collection at a major fashion expo, a dream come true. She was thrilled yet nervous, knowing that this was a pivotal moment for her career. In her small apartment, she surrounded herself with sketches, fabrics, and sewing materials, her mind buzzing with ideas. Tasha and her loyal friends rallied around her, offering support and encouragement. As they prepared, Maya couldn't shake the feeling that there were whispers in the shadows, plots brewing to sabotage her success. One evening, as she was pinning a dress to perfection, an anonymous tip came through her phone. "Be careful at the expo. Olivia is plotting against you." Maya's heart raced as she read the message. "Tasha, I just got a tip that Olivia is planning to sabotage my showcase," she said, her voice trembling slightly. "What? That's insane," Tasha replied, her eyes wide with disbelief. "You can't let that get to you. You've worked too hard to let her scare you now." "I know, but what if she tries to ruin the show? I can't afford to have my moment overshadowed by her schemes." Tasha took a deep breath, her voice steady. "You've come too far, Maya. You're not that girl who was dismissed anymore. You're a force, remember? Let's make sure that when you step onto that stage, you shine brighter than ever." With renewed determination, Maya nodded. She would prepare herself for whatever Olivia had in store. This time, she wouldn't let anyone dim her light. Maya stood in her cramped apartment, surrounded by bolts of fabric and sketches that adorned the walls like a chaotic gallery. The sun dipped low, casting a warm, golden hue across the room, but the glow couldn't chase away the tension that hung thick in the air. Determined not to let fear take over, she gathered her closest friends for an emergency planning session. "Tasha, we need to work like we've never worked before," Maya declared, her voice firm yet laced with anxiety. Tasha, always the unwavering support, nodded vigorously. "I'm in. We could do this, Maya. You've already come so far." As the evening progressed, the small space transformed into a hive of creativity and determination. Tasha and a couple of other friends, Jordan and Mira, emerged as the backbone of Maya's preparation. They worked tirelessly, sewing, measuring, and fine-tuning each piece of the collection that had brought Maya to this pivotal moment. The sound of machines whirring and fabric rustling filled the air as laughter and the occasional exclamations of triumph punctuated their efforts. "Can you pass me that red silk?" Maya asked, her hands deftly maneuvering a dress form. Jordan, hunched over a pile of fabric, looked up with a grin. "You mean this eye-catching, head-turning, I need to wear this to my next big event red silk?" "Exactly. That's what we're going for," Maya replied, chuckling as she gestured for him to hurry. They were all aware that the expo would be their chance to shine, a moment where Maya's vision could finally be seen in the light of day. Hours melted into each other, and as midnight approached, the group took a break. They collapsed onto the floor, breathing heavily from both exhaustion and excitement. "Maya, what happens if Olivia tries to pull something at the expo?" Mira asked, her brow furrowed with concern. Maya sighed, her heart racing at the thought of Olivia's potential interference. "I can't think about that now. I just need to focus on what I can control, my designs and my message. I won't let her intimidate me." "Exactly," Tasha chimed in, her voice steady. "You're not just representing yourself. You're representing everyone who feels out of the norm. You have to own that." As dawn broke, their collection came together beautifully, each piece a testament to Maya's resilience and vision. The energy in the room shifted from uncertainty to a palpable excitement. Maya felt the weight of her dreams resting on her shoulders, but for the first time, it didn't feel suffocating. Rather, it felt empowering. The day of the expo arrived, and Maya's heart raced as she looked in the mirror. She wore one of her own designs, a stunning gown that flowed like water, with colors that reflected her vibrant spirit. "You look incredible," Tasha said, adjusting Maya's hair. "Just remember, no matter what happens out there, you've already won by being true to yourself." Maya nodded, a mixture of nerves and excitement coursing through her. As she stepped onto the stage, the applause from the audience washed over her like a warm wave. The standing ovation felt surreal. It was as if the world was finally acknowledging her artistry and passion. However, the moment of triumph was cut short when Olivia appeared backstage, her presence commanding and intimidating. "Maya," she said, her voice dripping with condescension, "I hope you know that success comes with scrutiny. Are you sure you're ready for that?" Maya squared her shoulders, refusing to let doubt creep in. "I am ready for whatever comes my way, Olivia. I've worked too hard to let anyone undermine my vision." "Oh, sweetie," Olivia replied, her smile deceptively sweet. "You think you're the first to face adversity? The fashion world is ruthless. You'll see. It's not all applause and admiration." "Maybe, but I've got something you don't, a community that believes in me," Maya shot back, her voice steady. Olivia's eyes narrowed, revealing a simmering anger beneath her polished exterior. "We'll see how long that lasts." With that, Olivia turned on her heel, leaving Maya with a mix of determination and dread. She knew she had to stay focused on her mission. The applause still echoed in her ears, and for a moment, she allowed herself to bask in the glory of her achievement. But the shadows of Olivia's words loomed, a reminder that the battle was far from over. As Maya stepped back into the spotlight, she took a deep breath, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. She was not just a designer. She was a force of nature, and she would not be silenced. Maya Johnson stood before her mirror, adjusting the hem of a vibrant dress she had just finished. The fabric flowed like water, colored in bold greens and yellows that echoed the beauty of her heritage. This was it, her moment. She had been invited to participate in the prestigious International Fashion Week, a milestone that brought with it the weight of expectation and the hope of making a difference in an industry long dominated by conventional standards. As she practiced her walk, her heart raced with a mix of excitement and anxiety. "You've got this, Maya," she whispered to herself, her reflection offering a silent nod of encouragement. The thought of showcasing her collection, which celebrated diversity and self-expression, filled her with a sense of purpose. This was more than just a fashion show. It was a chance to challenge the status quo, to show the world that beauty came in all shapes, sizes, and colors. In the days leading up to the event, however, the atmosphere shifted. Rumors began to swirl, dark clouds looming over her anticipated debut. Maya had heard whispers about a smear campaign orchestrated by none other than Olivia Reed. Maya's heart sank as she scrolled through her social media feed, seeing the malicious comments that began to flood her posts. "Heard her designs are plagiarized," one comment read. "Can't believe she's getting this far. Just a fad," another chimed in. The weight of the world felt heavier on her shoulders as she fought to remain focused amidst the storm. "Maya, don't let them get to you," Tasha said, her eyes fierce as they met Maya's. They were sitting at their favorite cafe, the aroma of coffee and pastries filling the air. "You've worked too hard to let some petty rumors break you. You know your work is original. You've poured your heart into it." Maya sighed, grateful for Tasha's unwavering support. "I know, but it's hard not to feel the pressure. What if people start believing those lies? What if—" "Stop right there," Tasha interrupted, her voice steady. "What if will get you nowhere? Look around you. You're not alone in this. You've built a community, Maya. You've inspired so many. Remember that." Maya nodded, though the gnawing anxiety remained. She needed to rally supporters, to show her strength not just for herself, but for everyone who had felt dismissed by the fashion industry. That night, Maya sent out messages to fellow designers she had connected with over social media, inviting them to meet before the big show. On the day before the event, they gathered in her small apartment, an eclectic group of aspiring designers, each with their unique stories. The atmosphere buzzed with camaraderie as they shared their experiences of struggle and triumph. "I faced the same thing when I launched my line," a designer named Aria confessed, her eyes shining with determination. "People try to tear me down, but I realized that authenticity always wins in the end." Maya felt a surge of inspiration, her earlier doubts slowly melting away. "If we all come together, we can show them that we won't be silenced," she said, her voice gaining strength. "Let's support each other, lift each other up. We're not just fighting for ourselves. We're fighting for everyone who feels like they don't belong." As they discussed strategies and brainstormed ideas, Maya felt a renewed sense of hope. They formed a plan, each designer promising to share something about Maya's collection on their platforms. A united front against the negativity. "We'll turn this around," Tasha added, her enthusiasm infectious. "Let's show them the power of community." The night before Fashion Week, Maya fell asleep with a heart full of hope, surrounded by the warmth of friendship and solidarity. She knew that whatever happened, she would face it head-on, carrying the spirit of those who had uplifted her. The next day, as she prepared for her moment on the runway, she felt stronger than ever, ready to embrace the challenge ahead and to let her authentic voice shine through her designs. The atmosphere at International Fashion Week buzzed with a frenetic energy, a whirlwind of flashing cameras and hushed conversations that rippled through the crowd. Maya Johnson stood backstage, her heart racing as she peered through the curtain at the sea of faces waiting to witness her collection. The air was thick with tension, not just from the excitement of the moment, but also from the recent rumors that threatened to undermine everything she had worked for. Taking a deep breath, Maya adjusted the final details of her designs, each stitch and fabric choice a testament to her journey of self-expression and resilience. She could hear her friends, Tasha and a few loyal supporters, whispering words of encouragement. "You've got this, Maya. Just be yourself," Tasha called, her voice cutting through Maya's rising anxiety. As the lights dimmed and the music began to thump, Maya stepped onto the runway, her heart pounding in sync with the beat. The audience erupted into applause, But it was the moment of silence that struck her the hardest, an unspoken acknowledgement of her presence. Standing tall, she grasped the microphone, her voice steady as she began. Thank you all for being here. Today, we're not just showcasing fashion. We're celebrating diversity and authenticity. The crowd leaned in, captivated by her words. For too long, the fashion industry has dictated beauty standards that exclude so many of us. My collection is a reflection of the world we live in, vibrant, diverse, and unapologetically real. As she spoke, Maya could see the impact of her message ripple through the audience. Faces lit up with understanding and inspiration, and she felt a surge of confidence coursing through her veins. But just as she finished her speech and the models began to strut down the runway, a commotion erupted. Phones buzzed, and murmurs swept through the crowd. Maya's heart sank as she caught snippets of conversations about leaked emails and messages. She could feel a shift in the atmosphere, a growing tension that made her stomach churn. Suddenly, a well-known fashion journalist, Emily Chun, stood up, her voice cutting through the noise. Ladies and gentlemen, I have something important to share. All eyes turned towards her as she held up her phone, revealing the damning evidence of Olivia Reed's manipulations. These emails prove that Olivia Reed has been orchestrating a smear campaign against Maya Johnson, attempting to sabotage her success. Gasps filled the room, and Maya felt a rush of mixed emotions: relief, anger, and a fierce determination to confront the injustice. The audience erupted into a chorus of boos directed at Olivia, who stood frozen in her seat, her face pale and stricken with disbelief. Let's not allow fear to dictate our industry, Maya urged, her voice rising above the chaos. We must support one another and uplift diverse voices in fashion. Together, we can change the narrative. The crowd erupted into applause, chanting her name as the models continued to showcase her collection, vibrant fabrics flowing with each step. In the aftermath of the show, Maya found herself enveloped in a whirlwind of support. Fellow designers, bloggers, and industry leaders came forward, condemning Olivia's actions and rallying behind Maya. The fashion community was ignited, a fire of solidarity burning brightly against the backdrop of adversity. As the news spread, Olivia faced severe backlash. The very brand she once represented began distancing itself from her, and whispers of her ousting filled the air. In stark contrast, Maya's collection soared to new heights, capturing the attention of global audiences and becoming a symbol of change in the industry. Standing in the center of the chaos, Maya felt a sense of triumph wash over her. She had turned her pain into purpose and her rejection into a revolution. With her friends by her side, she celebrated not just her victory, but the beginning of a new era in fashion. One where diversity was celebrated and authenticity reigned supreme. I can't believe this is happening, Tasha said, her eyes sparkling with tears of joy. You did it, Maya. You changed everything. Maya smiled, her heart swelling with pride. We did it. Together, we made a statement. She looked out at the sea of faces, knowing that her journey had only just begun. The world was ready for change, and she was determined to lead the way.